You've owned your Hyundai Tucson for all these years. You know where the cup holder is. You know how to connect your phone. You think you know this car. But what if I told you there are at least 20 things your Tucson can do that you have never once discovered? Features buried in menus, encoded into buttons, hidden in plain sight that the dealership never showed you, the salesperson never mentioned, and the owner's manual buried in 8-point font under a section most people never open. I'm talking about up to 20 features here. Some of them will make your daily commute dramatically easier. A few of them could literally save your life. And one of them, I promise you, is going to make you pull over, stop the car, and wonder how many years you spent driving blind. Here are 20 hidden Tucson functions that only 1% of drivers know. Congratulations, you're about to join this sacred 1%. You ready? Let's get to it. Function number 1. The cargo cover's secret hideout. Pop the rear hatch and lift the main cargo floor panel. Right there, ahead of the spare tire, sits a perfectly molded slot that almost nobody notices. What you're now looking at is the dedicated stowage compartment for your retractable tonneau cover. When you need all the vertical space, you don't have to leave that $180 cover collecting dust and risking damage in your garage. Slide it into its underfloor garage and it stays protected, out of the way, and never becomes a projectile during an emergency stop. If you have a family and you do a lot of cross-country hauling, this one is an absolute lifesaver. I know because it's got my back a number of times. Function number 2, the fuel funnel that saves you from a tow. Your Tucson uses a capless fuel filler. That's great until you run out of gas on a back road, and the only help is a gas can with a standard spout that can't open the filler's inner door. Many Tucson drivers call a tow because the gas can won't work. That's a $100 to $150 flatbed ride. Well, here's what you didn't know. There's an emergency fuel funnel. A small white plastic funnel is clipped into a foam holder right next to the spare tire. It's a zero-cost lifesaver. If you own a 2022 to 2025 Tucson with the 2.5-liter SmartStream GDI engine, go check your spare tire well now. Finding it before you need it turns a potentially trip-wrecking disaster into a 5-minute fix. Now that we've unearthed some trunk treasures, let's climb into the cabin to a hidden override that could keep you from being stuck. Literally. Function number 3. The dead battery shifter release. If your battery dies, the electronic shift-by-wire selector locks in park. No power, no shifting, nothing. This means you can't push the car out of a car wash bay, a tight garage, or a busy lane. Yeah, you're stuck. Or are you? Right next to the shifter, there's a tiny rectangular cap you've likely never touched. Pop it off, press the brake, and use a flathead screwdriver or your key to press the shift lock release tab. The gear selector will move to neutral without a single volt of electricity. And now, you can easily, well, not easily though, but you can get it out the way now. An old customer of mine, Mark, a 2023 Tucson SEL owner, had his AGM battery go flat while sitting in a touchless car wash. The conveyor couldn't move him, water kept blasting, and the car wash manager was furious. A $125 tow and a damp, awkward wait later, Mark learned about the shift lock release. He now tells every Tucson owner he meets. Knowing this feature literally puts you in control when all else is dead. Function number 4. Hidden service menu access. Through the infotainment system. Your Tucson's infotainment screen is hiding a diagnostic portal that most owners will never find. On 2022 and newer Tucsons with the 10.25-inch navigation display, hold the home and back buttons simultaneously for about 7 seconds. A gray service screen appears behind the consumer interface, showing GPS satellite lock status, audio processor temperature, screen calibration tools, and, most critically for owners troubleshooting connectivity, a full Bluetooth stack log. Why does that matter? Well, because when people bring their Tucson in for Bluetooth keeps dropping or Android Auto freezes randomly, the first thing any competent tech does is pull this log. Now, you can do it yourself, screenshot it on your phone, and walk into the dealer with actual diagnostic data instead of a vague complaint. That alone shortens the average infotainment repair visit by an hour and a half. Function number 5. Digital key profiles. If your Tucson has Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 available on SEL convenience and above, you can share digital keys with up to 3 other users via text. But here's the real gold. Each digital key, whether on an iPhone, Android, or the NFC key card, can be linked to a unique driver profile. When your partner unlocks the driver's door with their phone, the seat slides to their position. The mirrors swivel, the radio presets change, and the climate remembers their preference. No more scrunched knees or wrestling the power seat every time you swap drivers. 2 drivers wasting 2 minutes every morning adjusting things adds up to quite some time and a lot of frustration. That's a lot of time and domestic harmony saved by a setting buried in setup, then user profile, and lastly, link digital key. From profiles that pamper you, let's turn to a single button on your steering wheel that's been waiting for your command since the day you drove off the lot. Function number 6. The custom star button. Look at your steering wheel. See the button with a star icon? It's blank by default, meaning it does nothing. Well, not totally, I'll explain. Dive into Setup and then Button Settings. Now you can assign it to do one of many things: activate phone projection, launch quiet mode, pull up the energy flow screen on hybrids, or even toggle the surround view camera. There's one assignment that's just the most practical. You can set it to phone projection to instantly bring up Apple CarPlay or Android Auto without hunting through menus. On my 2024 Tucson Hybrid with the 1.6-liter turbo SmartStream, I set it to quiet mode for instant peace when my kids get rowdy. It's a free, fully customizable shortcut hiding in plain sight. No need to thank me. Function number 7. The gentle brake trick that outsmarts auto stop-start. The idle stop-and-go (ISG) system on the 2.5-liter SmartStream engine and the 1.6-liter turbo hybrid can feel intrusive in stop-and-go traffic. Trust me, I know all about it. Many owners jab the ISG off button every trip, but there's a more elegant method. Modulate your brake pressure as you come to a complete stop. Keep light, steady pressure, just enough to hold the car, and the engine often stays running. Press the pedal firmly to the floor and the engine shuts off. Mastering this gives you the fuel-saving benefit of ISG when you want it and eliminates the shudder in bumper-to-bumper crawling. That fine control can also extend the life of your expensive AGM battery, which goes for about $300, by reducing unnecessary stop-start cycles, saving you an early battery replacement over the life of the vehicle. Okay, you've mastered the pedals. Now I'll need you to step outside and meet a key fob trick that feels like magic, especially on a scorching summer day. Function number 8. The key fob window. Roll down. On many Tucson trims with the Smart Key, you can roll down all the windows and crack open the panoramic sunroof before you even open a door. Press the unlock button, release, then press and hold it again. Within seconds, the front windows descend, and the sunroof shade slides back to vent the oven-hot air. If yours doesn't do it, the feature may be turned off in the Vehicle Settings menu under Door and Remote Window Control. Enabling it costs you absolutely nothing. On a 100 degrees Fahrenheit afternoon, this can drop the cabin temp by 20 degrees before you even buckle up, reducing the load on the air conditioning compressor. And that translates to a tiny but real fuel economy bump of maybe 0.5 miles per gallon in city driving during summer. Yeah, I did the maths so you wouldn't have to. Function number 9. The trunk's always-on 12-volt outlet. That 12-volt power socket on the passenger side of the cargo area isn't just for the dealer-installed air compressor. Depending on your Tucson's configuration, it may be live all the time, even with the ignition off. That means you can plug in a portable cooler, an air mattress pump, or charge devices during a tailgate party without draining the main battery excessively. Once, on a family camping trip, I plugged the electric cooler into that socket, assuming it would switch off with the engine. Well, it didn't. I returned from a hike to find the ice packs still frozen and the drinks chilled, while my friend's food in another vehicle had gone lukewarm in melted water. Knowing that the outlet is always powered saved me about $45 worth of groceries. That's one very important feature, you know. A steady power source is fantastic, but the next feature gives you so much power, and I bet you don't even know it exists. Function number 10. The quiet mode that silences every passenger notification. Go into your Tucson settings menu, then sound, then look for a submenu called Notification Sound or Alert Management, depending on your model year. Buried in there is a setting that lets you suppress all infotainment alerts, lane warnings, navigation prompts, incoming call chimes with a single toggle. Hyundai calls it quiet mode on some builds. Parents with sleeping kids in the back seat know exactly why this exists. But it's also critical for drivers who find alert stacking, multiple sounds firing within seconds of each other, cognitively overwhelming. The science on this is clear. Auditory clutter during complex driving scenarios increases reaction time. Turning off the non-essential alerts, while keeping the safety-critical ones active, is a measurable improvement in your attentional bandwidth behind the wheel. Well, still on how important sounds can be while you're driving, that brings us to function number 11, nature sounds, your built-in Zen machine. While you're inside the infotainment, press the Sounds of Nature icon, or you can find it in the media menu. You'll uncover a selection of ambient tracks, a crackling fireplace, gentle rain, a babbling brook, ocean waves. It's not buried in some subscription app, it's preloaded. For the 1.6-liter hybrid drivers who sometimes sit in EV mode waiting for a curbside pickup, this turns a silent, humming cabin into a more calming space. No additional cost or monthly fees. It's simply there, waiting to de-stress your commute. From soothing sounds, let's pivot to a physical lever that can help you in a tight parking lot. Function number 12, the walk-in seat fold. Who hasn't walked out of the supermarket with their hands full of grocery bags and no way to open the doors? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, believe it or not, but Hyundai actually has our backs. Instead of struggling to open the rear doors, reach into the cargo area and pull the seat release levers on either side. One for the 60% split, one for the 40%. The rear seat backs flop forward remotely. On Tucson models with the 60/40 folding bench and a total cargo volume of up to 80.3 cubic feet, this simple strap pull saves you a full lap around the car in a rainy parking lot. It's a tiny ergonomic win. But over a year of weekly grocery runs, you'll wonder why you ever did it the hard way. I know I wonder that every single time. Function number 13, Hill Start Assist. Every Tucson since 2016 has Hill Start Assist Control, HAC. When you release the brake on a steep incline, the system holds brake pressure for about 2 seconds, giving you time to move to the accelerator without rolling backward. Drivers with the 2.5-liter engine and the 8-speed automatic rarely notice it, but if you've ever been caught on a San Francisco Great Hill with an SUV tailgating 6 inches behind your bumper, HAC is the difference between a confident launch and a heart-stopping rollback. There's no button to press, no light to see, you know. It just works. Knowing it's there eliminates the need to ride the clutch or 2-foot the pedals, saving wear on the brake pads and drivetrain. That safety net sits quietly in the background, much like the next feature that locks away your personal life whenever you hand the keys to a valet. Function number 14, Valet Mode. The Tucson's infotainment system includes a valet mode in setup, then profile. When activated, it locks the screen and prevents access to your phone contacts, navigation history, and home address. For an SUV that carries your whole digital life, this is essential. A hotel valet or a parking garage attendant can still drive the car, but can't browse your call logs or see your home garage code. No cost, and it takes like 3 taps. Considering the average data breach or privacy worry, this feature is a small fortress for your personal information. While we're guarding what matters, let's look at a setting that protects the most precious cargo, the ones you might accidentally leave behind. Function number 15, Rear Occupant. Alert! Tucson's equipped with the ultrasonic rear occupant alert can do more than just flash a message on the dash. The system can be set to honk the horn and send a blue link alert if it detects movement inside your locked car, a child, a pet, or even a shifting bag that mimics a living being. In the vehicle settings, you can toggle the sensitivity and horn response. During a summer heat wave, interior temperatures can reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit within 30 minutes. The cost of forgetting is just unimaginable. This hidden configuration ensures you don't just rely on a dashboard prompt. Function number 16. The hidden ventilation mode that keeps a parked Tucson cool on Tucson PHEV and hybrid models, and on certain trim levels of the standard Tucson with remote start. There is a ventilation mode that activates the blower fan without running the full climate system. In the BlueLink app, under Remote Start Settings, look for a ventilation option separate from the standard AC or heat. In extreme summer heat, running this for 5 minutes before you get in drops the cabin air temperature by circulating the baked hot air out, rather than trying to immediately cool it with the refrigerant. Hyundai's own internal testing shows this drops the time to a comfortable cabin temperature by 40% compared to blasting the AC cold from a standing start in direct sun. It also reduces the load on the compressor during that first critical minute of operation, which directly affects compressor longevity. This feature is sitting in your app right now. Almost nobody uses it. Yeah, this hidden climate trick is great, but do you know that the plug-in hybrid Tucson holds an efficiency secret that can stretch your EV miles? I'm talking about function number 17, the driver-only climate button, PHEV. In the Tucson plug-in hybrid with the 1.6-liter turbo SmartStream, you'll find a driver-only button in the climate control screen. Pressing it shuts off airflow to the passenger side and rear vents, concentrating all HVAC energy on the driver. This can extend electric-only range by up to 3 to 5%. That's around 1 to 1.5 extra miles of EV driving per full charge. Over a year of commuting, that small gain adds up to roughly 250 extra electric miles and about $30 saved in fuel. It's not going to pay your mortgage, but it's a free software lever that squeezes every drop of efficiency from the plug-in powertrain. Speaking of squeezing out performance, I've got one secret that's been costing you extra fuel on your Hyundai Tucson. What I have for you is a trick to plug this leak. Function number 18. The hidden drive mode setting that's quietly wasting your fuel. This is one feature I always tell all my new Tucson owners about. That's just how important it is. And here's why. On every Tucson with a selectable drive mode system, the mode you were in when you last turned the car off is the mode the car returns to on your next startup, with one major exception. If your Tucson was delivered in sport mode at the dealership, or if you ever switched to sport and then the car's battery was disconnected or reset, some build configurations default back to sport mode rather than normal on every subsequent key cycle. Now here's the problem with sport mode. Sport mode on the Tucson 1.6T raises the throttle sensitivity map, holds lower gears longer, and adjusts the shift logic to maximize engine feel over efficiency. In real-world mixed driving, this costs 2 to 4 miles per gallon compared to normal or eco. Over a full year at 15,000 miles, that can add up to $300 or more in extra fuel costs. Right now, before you keep watching, look at your drive mode indicator. Is it in sport? Did you put it there intentionally today? If the answer is no, you just found your money leak. What if I told you your Tucson can literally park itself while you're outside the driver's seat? Function number 19, Remote Smart Parking Assist on 2022 and newer Tucson SEL Convenience, N-Line, and limited trims. Remote Smart Parking Assist allows you to move the Tucson forward or backward into a tight parking space using only the physical key fob, with nobody inside the vehicle. You hold the lock and unlock buttons simultaneously on the fob, and the Tucson creeps in the direction you've selected. Anyone who has ever parked in a garage with a structural pillar on the driver's side, or returned to a space where someone parks so close you physically cannot open the door, knows exactly what this feature is worth. The system operates at low speed with full collision avoidance monitoring active. The majority of owners with this feature have never once used it. Most of them don't know they have it. Well, now you're no longer one of those people. Finally, we'll end where we began. The cargo area, where one more secret compartment holds the essentials for unexpected moments. Function number 20, the hidden underfloor emergency storage. Lift that same floor panel we started with, and you'll not only find the tonneau cover slot and the fuel funnel, you'll also discover additional molded foam trays for items like a first aid kit, warning triangle, or a small tire inflator. On the 2025 Tucson XRT, this space is especially deep, designed to hold recovery gear. Many owners toss in a zippered pouch with jumper cables, work gloves, and a flashlight, creating a free out-of-sight emergency kit that doesn't eat into passenger space. Do you know the mental cost of not having jumper cables when your battery falters in a remote trailhead parking lot? That's a long, cold wait and a potential $150 service call. A few dollars worth of preparation in a factory-designed hideaway turns you into the most self-sufficient Tucson driver on the road. There they are, 20 hidden Tucson functions that transform you from an ordinary driver into one who wields every ounce of engineering Hyundai baked into this SUV. Hyundai built these features into the Tucson because they matter. The engineers didn't write this software as an afterthought, but a car without an informed owner is just a machine waiting to be underused. You bought something capable. Use the full thing. Go through that settings menu tonight. These aren't exotic modifications. They're the car you already paid for. If this opened your eyes, I've got more deep dives on what Hyundai's systems can actually do when you understand them, and what happens when you don't. I'll see you in the next one.